Hey folks, today we're going to take a look at a game that is currently seeking funding on Kickstarter. That game is called Dragon Keepers, and it's from the company Nightworks, from designer Vital Lacerda and his daughter Katarina. Now, if you like what you see throughout the rest of this preview video, I'm going to encourage you to go to the official Kickstarter project page. You can do that by following the link in the top corner of your screen, as well as down in the description section underneath this video. Now, Dragon Keepers is a game that you can actually play two different ways. You can play it as a light, very light competitive game meant for kids and families, or you can play it as a full-on cooperative game meant for more experienced gamers. Either way you play it, the themes are basically the same, just from two different perspectives. In the light competitive game, you are going to be hunters trying to capture dragons, but as in the full cooperative game, you are playing the chieftain of a clan of keepers who are protecting those dragons from the hunters. To do that, you need to use magical items, you need to use your keepers to protect the dragons, and you need to train those dragons to fight back against the hunters. How you're doing this is through very careful hand management, working together with limited, you have communication with each other, but you can't tell each other everything that you're planning to do, so you got to work within those boundaries and trying to roll against the hunters as best as you possibly can. Now let me go ahead and give you a brief look at how the game is played with a prototype copy of the game. So do note that what you see here may change slightly in the final version. Some things can be tweaked back and forth and things like that. Just go to the Kickstarter page if you want to find out more about that. But in any event, after this, we will come back and discuss it further. Dragon Keepers is a cooperative game for 2 to 6 players when played in the main Dragon mode, and a light competitive game for children when played in Keeper mode. For this video, we're just going to focus on the cooperative Dragon mode. Every player is the chief of a clan of Dragon Keepers, and you must all work together to protect your dragons from hunters. To do this, you'll have to train your dragons to attack the hunters, and to make the best use of the dragon abilities and your magic items to protect them at the same time. Set up the game by randomly laying out the 6 dragon tiles on their friendly side in the center of the play area surrounding a central playmat. Dragon tiles have a friendly side and a trained side. The friendly side simply denotes the number of health points the dragon has and what crest is associated with it, while the trained side also denotes the number of times the dragon can be trained, which are the dice spaces, and the results of successful attacks from that dragon, either in removing arrows from dragons or placing flame tokens on hunters. More on this later. On the mat, you'll place a hunter card from the battle event deck face up in the center. On top of that, you'll place hunter dice equal to the number of players, with the rest being placed off to the side for now. Next to the hunter is the battle event deck, which needs to be specially set up so that the 3 other hunter cards are mixed in at random intervals. Then, one card is flipped up on top and another is placed opposite to start the discard pile. The rest of the battle event cards are mystical items and spells that the players can use to help their cause. By healing dragons and attacking hunters, you'll be rewarded with these cards. A player may only have 3 magic cards at a time, which they keep face up on their small mat, and may only use once per keeper round as an extra action of the indicated type. Once used, they're removed entirely from the game. Every player gets a set of components: a large player board, a small player board, 2 defense action tokens, 1 heal action token, and 1 training action token. They also get a set of 6 keeper cards. One player is chosen to be the starting player and is given the hunter token. Finally, the 12 battle dice are placed in the bag. Gameplay takes place in rounds, each one consisting of 3 phases. First is the hunter phase. On subsequent rounds of play, the start player token will move to the next player in clockwise order. Then, the face-up card on the battle event deck is placed in the discard pile, and a new one is flipped up. If that card is a hunter, it's removed from the game, and the hunter card gets another die. But if the dragons are able to inflict flame damage to the hunters, you can remove a die for every 3 flame tokens on them. Lastly, for this phase, the start player of the round will roll all the hunter dice on the card. Each hunter die has faces that correspond to the 6 dragons. After rolling, place each die on the matching dragon. The hunter is now targeting them. Phase 2 is the keeper phase. Every player has the same deck of keeper cards, and each keeper is a protector of a specific dragon. In turn order, every player will choose a keeper from their hand and place it face down. Along with it, you'll choose one of your action tokens and place it on the chosen card. Because it's a cooperative game, players can strategize and plan their actions, and are expected to, but there is one exception. You must never state or hint directly what keeper card you've played face down, even if the other players can already surmise which card you've placed down. You may also choose to play one of your magic cards if possible. When everyone has locked in their keeper and action token and possible magic item to use, everyone will reveal simultaneously. You'll all take the action associated with the token you placed in turn order with the dragon associated with the keeper you played. You'll also use your magic item if you locked one in. Now let's go through those actions. Defense tokens force all the hunter dice on the defended dragon's card back to the hunter's dice pool. And if you do this, you must draw either the top face-up card of the battle event deck or the bottom card of the deck. Heal tokens remove all arrow tokens on the associated dragon, and just like with defense, you will get to draw cards for having done so. Training tokens let you flip your friendly dragon to its trained side, then take a random battle die from the bag and place it in one of its die slots. As a reward, you get to take an action token of your choice from the stock just for doing this. If there are no empty die slots or the dragon has arrow tokens on it, this action will fail. Finally, there are the attack tokens. Only trained dragons with battle dice in their slots can attack. Roll all the battle dice on that dragon. At lower difficulty levels, only blank sides are misses, and all fire sides are hits that allow you to place fire tokens on the hunters. But at high difficulties, the fire sides with an X are considered weak and they never count for placing tokens. If you do indeed roll at least one flame, keep note of it with shield tokens. Keeper cards and action tokens do not automatically come back to hand. You must pass your turn in the round to get them all back. When everyone has passed, move on to the next phase. The final phase of the round is the dragon phase. Any hunter dice still targeting any dragons must be resolved. Those dice that were not defended against force the dragon to take arrow tokens, and if the number of arrow tokens equals or exceeds the dragon's health, the dragon dies, and the game ends in defeat. The other way the game can end in defeat is if you run out of cards in the battle event deck before meeting the victory condition. The game can only end in victory if the dragons have successfully attacked a certain number of times, from 4 to 6 times, depending on the difficulty the player shows at the beginning of the game. That is Dragon Keepers. Well, Dragon Keepers is one of the most unique games I've ever seen, really, because I've seen a lot of different cooperative games, but the idea of having all these dragons that you're all communally working on. No one player represents one of the dragons. Rather, you all have these keepers that are all protecting these dragons as best you can. And what's interesting is that you can plan, you can strategize, you can say this is what we need to do, but no one can know what keeper you put down. You have to trust and have faith in the other people on your team to hope that they're going to take care of something that they're better suited for. So for instance, if you have a heal token, and like the yellow dragon needs, for lack of a better word for their crest, the yellow dragon needs to be healed, well, everyone's going to hopefully be paying attention and know that that's what you're going to be doing. So no one else is going to try to do that. Or let's say more than one player does have the heal token and their yellow keeper is still available, but maybe one of those two people also has an attack token available. So you have to sort of look at each other's cards and say, okay, he's going to take care of the healing. I'm going to take care of the attacks for this round. Because it's not enough to just protect and defend and, your dragons and to heal them if they get arrow wounds. You have to be dealing damage to the hunter, because the hunters, there's going to be more coming out as the game goes on, and when another hunter comes out, that represents another die added to the pool. So you need to be attacking them to keep their pool down. And also, every time you attack, that's like one more, essentially a victory point towards winning the game, the number of times that you get successfully attack. But you're also sort of rushing, you are rushing against the clock. If that battle deck runs out, the game is over in your defeat, because the hunters have mustered enough forces to defeat you. And if you're not careful, the dragons don't have a ton of health. Even like the dragon that has the most health is only like 4 or 5. So if they take enough damage, they're dead, and boom, that's it. As soon as one dragon is dead, you all lose. So even though you can help each other out and it's cooperative and You have lots of different powerful magic items, tons of different magic items to choose from to help you. Even though you have all these things in your favor, it can still be an overwhelming game. You constantly have to be like looking at that deck, making sure that you're moving quickly, making sure that you're keeping the hunters in check and defending yourselves at the same time. So there's a lot going on, but it's not an overly complicated game. It doesn't take a long time to set up. It doesn't take a long time to teach either. So really, even though the cooperative game is meant for experienced players as opposed to the light keeper game, I still think that any casual gamer or anyone who is even a younger gamer with some help could even play the cooperative one as well. So if you fall into any of these categories, if you like cooperative games, if you like games with a fantasy theme and dragons especially, don't take my word for it. Go to the official Kickstarter page and find out more information for yourself. Tons of information, stretch goals, things like that. You can follow the link in the top corner of your screen as well as down in the description section underneath this video. Excuse me. Almost made it to the end. My name is Nick. Thank you so much for watching, and as always for supporting our sponsors. Take care. That is Dragon Keepers from Nightworks, from designer Vital Lacerda and his daughter Katarina. Take care.